Good morning, lecturers. Today, biodiversity is harming surrounding environment. So, is it good or bad? So, let's come to our presentation of Changshui Conservation Centers. This is our team member. Firstly, come to Min with our introduction.
Shangshui Conservation is a Chinese NGO for the biology focusing on biodiversity conservation, sustainable community development, aligned with SDGs 13 and 15. Southwest China's face biodiversity loss from infrastructure growth, habitat fragmentation, and low community participation. SSCC combines conservation with ecotourism, eco-farming, and citizen science to create income while protecting nature. We choose SSCC because it effectively links biodiversity conservation and create measurable social and environmental impact. Now we move to Lily Park.
Every environmental crisis you have ever heard of shares one word: cost. We have never had to pay for destruction. Not because people don't care, but because the economy was designed before we understood the cost. Chop down a forest, the timber has a price. The oxygen it produced, the rainfall it regulated, the species it sheltered. None of that shows up at any balance sheet. When destruction is free, the market will always choose it. The numbers on this slide are the direct results. Scientists gave us 9 thresholds, 9 limits we cannot cross without risking irreversible change to the systems that keep it livable. We have already crossed 6. And what the slide cannot show you is the cascade. Remove the snow leopard, elk population explode, vegetation collapses, slopes erode, rivers run brown. These systems do not fail independently, they fail together. And once those tipping points are crossed, no policy, funding, technology brings them back. Behind these statistics are people. 7,000 herding households whose cultural identity, not just their income, is tied to these grasslands. But the stakeholders with the most at stake are the ones with the least power. The ecosystems themselves. They do not vote, lobby, get at any seat at any table. 1.4 billion people drink from Yellow River. Not one of them was in the room when the decisions upstream were made. And then there are future generations who will inherit every irreversible consequence of choices being made today with absolutely no voice in any of them. So here is a structural problem at the heart of this entire crisis. The groups who suffer most carry the highest moral legitimacy, and almost none of them have power. That gap is precisely what Changshui was built to close. The UN gave every member state four commitments that speak directly to this, not aspirations, but commitments. Poverty and ecological collapse are the same crisis in different clothes. Biodiversity loss does not just suffer from climate change, it accelerates it. And governance is so fragmented that no single government, NGO, or company can fix this alone. That fragmentation is exactly what Changsui's entry point. And that's what we're here to talk about.
Following the discussion on biodiversity changes, this session evaluates how SSCC responds through community-based conservation. SSCC combines environmental protection with local economic development through ecotourism, renewable energy, and conservation livelihood. This helped protect over 150 square kilometers of panda habitat and supported snow leopard monitoring. SSCC operates through 3 key programs: biodiversity conservation, community livelihood development, and policy advocacy. These programs strengthen habitat protection, generate local income, and improve conservation governance. SSCC works with communities, governments, NGOs, researchers, and donors to create environmental, social, and economic value. SSCC is best classified as an NPO with income-generating activities. It relies mainly on grants and donations, while reinvesting conservation-based income into its mission. SSCC improved biodiversity monitoring, community participation, and stakeholder collaboration after intervention. Using the triple bottom line framework, SSCC generates protection, community well-being, and long-term financial resilience. This figure is a general value creation model used to explain SSCC approach. Through community-based conservation, SSCC creates environmental, social, and economic value simultaneously. SSCC operates through a regenerative sustainability cycle where stronger ecosystem and stronger communities reinforce one another. Using stakeholder salience theory, SSCC prioritizes stakeholders based on power, legitimacy, and urgency. And now let's turn to fact with prediction section.
The project creates strong environmental, social, oriented impact. It protects wildlife and generates real local income to local people and NGO. So that SSCC is strong in community participation and partnership, but they would independent on external funding. It has opportunity to expand for public awareness, but they face problem from cost operation channel. So that if SSCC successful expansion, this will create a positive cycle with the key stakeholder channel B so that unstable funding long term. This is a negative cycle with limited long-term conservation success. Vietnam offers a great potential for this model with a government support for the renewal, local income from the ecotourism, and rising environmental awareness among the young. However, but they still face major issues including cultural difference and community. Additionally, Vietnam has a great technology, legal, environmental support thanks to the camera trapping, strong law, and rich biodiversity. However, we still face with big issues like weak remote internet, illegal hunting, deforestation, and climate change. Next year pass.
So Vietnam is facing serious biodiversity loss with many animal species now endangered. At the same time, China carbon market give NSCC more opportunity to grow. So firstly, come to our recommendations is carbon credit projects that can create more stable funding and also support the local communities. The project will start with some pilot area and local community support. Later on, the money will be reinvested into the conservation activities. Secondly, our recommendations is using artificial intelligence for biodiversity monitoring. This helps SSCC track wildlife activity more faster and easier. So SSCC can use AI camera, drones, and even mobile app for monitoring. We believe that these tools make the data collections quicker and simpler. Vietnam, our country, is a good place to apply SSCC model because of its biodiversity challenges, but a model needs to be adjusted to be fit of Vietnam local conditions. We suggest that two pilot projects, Cù Lao Chàm and Sơn Trà Peninsula. These projects combine conservation, tourism, local community support. Both projects will follow step-by-step development plan. The goal is to create long-term conservations and stable income sources. There are still very limitations like tourism pressures and asset problem that already include solutions to reduce this. Other conservation programs around the world shows that local communities are very important. Conservation work better when local people also receive the benefit. So, stakeholder analysis plan the connections between community, government, and nature. The triple bottom line shows that environmental, social, and financial goals can work together. So, to conclude, SSCC model is very realistic because it's combined conservation, scientific monitoring, and even community support together. So biodiversity loss is not only an environmental issues but also affect on our future generation. So one key lesson from that is conservation work better when community also receive the benefits. Thank you for listening.